big shout out to Bruce Patterson from the United States for your massive donation. Thank you, Bruce. You're a legend. Click the link below to find out how you can be a legend too. Hey guys, Brent Mail here. People call me the Mailman. I'm a pro photographer traveling around Australia on my little postie bike, finding interesting people who are passionate about what they're doing and telling their stories through my lens. So buckle up and join me on my postie adventures into the unknown. On the previous episodes of Mailman's Postie Adventures, I test out my equipment in the sand and in the bush, introduce you to my good friend Harlan and have a blast, deal with the flat tire on my postie bike, meet Frank on his boat Imagine, and battle all sorts of audio problems during the interview. But I learned some valuable lessons. Go really deep and find out what's in his heart. We have a true adventure over to Fingal Island and up the lighthouse, and Frank surprises us with something really cool. I go out to sea on Imagine, photograph Frank, and give away some great tips on portrait photography. We go sailing again on a sunny day. I get some amazing aerial footage, but almost crash my drone into the ocean. I try surfing a dangerous break, deal with the 3-meter tiger shark, and get crunched on my last wave. I deal with major self-doubt, and I'm forced to change my energy by going for an adventure on my postie bike and getting in the water. Hey guys, Brent here, and welcome to the final episode of the Imagine series, telling Frank's future story. If you missed the first part of his interview, go back to the last episode. That's where Frank talks about how he started Imagine Cruises. In this episode, I want to go deeper with Frank. I want to find out what it actually takes to run a successful business.
When I moved here, came back here to try and resurrect the ruin and clean it and try and establish something. I wasn't quite sure whether we were going to be able to rebuild it because that was up to the government. But I had been operating because I was a skipper, driving other people's boats. I drove the ferry to Tea Gardens for a while. I repaired boats and things at the local marina and just eking out a living. But I did a business plan, did a couple of business plans, particularly with my friend Eve, until we got one that seemed to stack up. But it was difficult here to make a living, particularly with a young family at the time. So when we decided to build Imagine, we'd estimated around $500,000 to build it. We'd contracted a builder. He apparently started to go bankrupt. So I wound up having to create my own team, take it down to Jervis Bay where he was building the boat. And we had to build it largely ourselves. I hadn't planned on it. I thought somebody would build it for us, but he was not in a position to do that. So he did give us some of his staff, but we took a team of guys, and in a past life I built quite a few boats, nothing as big as Imagine. And we spent 9 months building the boat in Jervis Bay. And when we built it up, we'd had a cost overrun, which is quite common with boats. Break out another 1,000 or 2 or 10. So we were all up to our ears in debt, and we'd shared it amongst our friends and friends of friends. So we'd sold shares to make it happen, mortgaged our houses, and so when we came up, it was pretty desperate. So we really didn't know how we were going to go. We were living off I remember going to the skip bin at the back of Coles at the time, getting vegetables out because I couldn't afford to go and buy food for the family. thrown out vegetables out of the skip bin so we could eat. So when Migaloo turned up and we had that lucky break, you know, it really did change things around. It was a godsend, literally, and you know, it saved our bacon, which is why I've been rather fond of Migaloo, that white whale, which is still around. He's about 30 now, and Migaloo means white fella. Bungjalung traditional owners up near Byron Bay named him. He was only a young 2-year-old, I think, when he was first seen, but he was about 6 when I found him. But it was a huge thing, you know. You put everything into something, and particularly when you have family and kids dependent, and you know, you look back on it now as an older person and you think, oh, they were pretty desperate times.
I love going deep and hearing stories like that. But something that really attracted me to Frank right from the beginning is his passion for the environment, for the dolphins, and for the whales.
These living animals, I work with them day after day after day, and they are smart, they're engaging, they're social. Dolphins, you know, we take people swimming with dolphins. They're one of the few animals in this world that will come up and play with you without food being involved. You know, I don't know how long dogs would stick around, or cats, if you didn't feed them. The dolphins come and play with us, and you know, they're interested in us, and we love them. And you know, I think we share this planet with God's creatures, and we have probably not done a very good job of looking after the planet. You know, we could do better. We definitely could do better. You know, my heroes are people like Attenborough, David Attenborough, and folks that have shown us the beauty of nature, and still are at his age, you know, and they're my heroes.
Do you remember the very first episode where I'm sitting on my bike and I'm really excited about meeting Frank and telling his story? Well, I hope I did a good job in getting deep and actually telling it in an honest and real way. What do you think? I think I'll end the series and end this interview with Frank telling us who he is and what he does. Catch you later. Bye.
Frank Future. I take people out to see our beautiful marine environment, whales and dolphins. I love them. They're my family.